The Saudi royal family is worth over $1.4 trillion. And if you think that's a lot of money, then just wait until you hear how much they spend in a year. Well, it's actually more like how much they spent last year, because I do and want to waste your time with some fake suspense. It's going to be in this video. So let's get started. Number 10. Crown Jewels. If you're not familiar with the crown jewels, they are basically the collection of precious stones and metals that have been passed down from generation to generation within the British royal family for centuries. They include tiaras, necklaces, rings, bracelets, as well as the famous imperial state crown, which is worn by the monarch during the opening of Parliament each year. But here's the thing. Even though these jewels have been in the family for hundreds of years, they're not actually owned by them. In fact, they belong to the United Kingdom's Crown Estate, a collection of properties and assets that are held in trust for the nation by the reigning monarch. Now, while the Crown Estate owns the jewels, it's up to the Queen to decide how they reused, and she has the right to wear them as she sees fit. So when the Queen attends state occasions or other official events, she often wears one of the crown jewels as a symbol of her power and majesty. Of course, given the value of these jewels, you can understand why they're kept safe at all times by armed guards. Imagine if someone got their hands on the crown jewels. Chaos would ensue. No. 9 yachts. We've already discussed in another video how much money yachts cost and how Jeff Bezos just bought the most expensive yacht in the world for $500 million. The Saudi royal family also loves yachts, but they don't buy them. They just charter them. Reportedly, every year they charter yachts around the world for an estimated total cost of $300 million per year. One of the most popular destinations for the royals is the French Riviera, where they can charter a super yacht for around $20 million per week. These yachts come with all the luxuries you can imagine, from swimming pools and spas to helipads and even submarines. It's no wonder the Saudi royal family spends so much money on yachts. After all, they're one of the richest families in the world. 1,500 members. They certainly have the means to afford it. No. 8 luxury hotels. No. You may not know this, but the Saudi royal family doesn't just travel by plane. They also travel in style. In fact, they own a number of luxury hotels around the world. For example, they own the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, as well as several other major hotels in Dubai. The family also owns the Plaza Hotel in New York City and the Savoy Hotel in London. And when they travel to France, they like to stay at the Hotel Le Maurice, which they reportedly bought for €275 million. The Saudi royal family typically stays in the presidential suite at their hotels, which usually costs around $20,000 per night. But they're not cheap when it comes to accommodations. If they're staying somewhere else, they'll typically rent out an entire floor of the hotel, which can cost millions of dollars per month. The family travels so much that they constantly on the move and staying in different hotels all over the world. In fact, they're believed to have spent over $1 billion on hotel rooms in recent years. No. 7. Shopping. We all love to go shopping from time to time, but few people can match the spending power of the Saudi royal family. When they go shopping, they don't just buy a few items here and there, they go all out. A few years ago, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal went on a shopping spree in Paris and reportedly spent $180 million in just a few weeks. He bought everything from clothes and jewelry to art and furniture. One of the biggest fans of shopping from the family was the late King Fahd bin Abdulaziz, who loved to buy gold bars. At one point, he owned 2% of the world's gold supply. His son, Prince Sultan, was also known for his lavish spending habits. He owned a private jet that was equipped with a golden staircase and a throne room. The prince also had a golden wheelchair that was pushed around by 2 bodyguards. While the current king, Salman bin Abdulaziz, is less flashy than his predecessors, he too enjoys a good shopping spree from time to time. In fact, he was once photographed carrying shopping bags from the luxury department store to Barney's, New York. No. 6. Private jets. Private jets are one of the most luxurious forms of transportation, and only the elite few can afford to fly them. But the Saudi royal family isn't afraid to spend big. When it comes to their Gulfstream G650ERs, these planes cost over $66 million apiece, and they allow the family to travel in style and comfort. But private jets aren't just about luxury, they're also about convenience. The Saudi royal family can fly on their own schedule without having to worry about delays or cancellations. They also have access to private terminals and empty fancy lounges where they can relax before their flight. It's no wonder then that the Saudi royal family spends an estimated $350 million per year on private jet travel. No, 5. Art. It's no secret that the Saudi royal family is made up of avid art collectors. In recent years, they've spent billions of dollars acquiring some of the most valuable paintings in the world. One of the most famous pieces in their collection is Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci, which they bought for $450 million in 2017. They also own several other Da Vinci paintings, as well as works by other Renaissance masters such as Michelangelo and Raphael. In addition to European art, the Saudi royal family has also been buying up African art in recent years. They're particularly fond of tribal art from the Sahara Desert region, which they've been amassing for decades. Overall, the Saudi royal family's art collection is worth an estimated $1 billion. No for real estate. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the Saudi royal family spends a lot of money on real estate. With over 1,500 members, they need a lot of space to live in. In fact, they own the largest royal palace in the world, sprawling 1 million square foot Al Yamamah Palace in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But they don't just own palaces. They own all kinds of properties all over the world. For example, they own the 55-story Jeddah Tower, the tallest building in Saudi Arabia, as well as numerous other high-rise buildings in major cities like London and New York. The family also owns vast tracts of land, including a 334,000-acre hunting reserve in Scotland and a 2,000-square-mile desert in Arizona. All told, the Saudi royal family's real estate holdings are worth an estimated $5 billion. No, 3 cars. The Saudi royal family sure does love their cars. King Fahd bin Abdulaziz once owned a 600-car garage and was particularly fond of Mercedes-Benzes. In fact, he once bought 500 of them in one go. King Abdullah, his half-brother, was also a car enthusiast and reportedly owned a $200 million car collection. The current king, Salman bin Abdulaziz, is more modest than his predecessors, but he still has a taste for luxury vehicles. The king's fleet includes a $14 million Phantom drophead coupe, a $10 million Maybach Excelero, and a $6 million Rolls-Royce Ghost, but he's not just a fan of foreign cars. He also likes to support local manufacturers. In fact, he helped to establish the Saudi car manufacturer, which produces the kingdom's first locally assembled sedan. Number 2, weapons. Despite being one of the wealthiest families in the world, the Saudi royal family spends a lot of money on weapons. In fact, they're one of the largest buyers of weapons globally, spending an average of $20 billion per year. This might seem surprising given that Saudi Arabia is not a country that's often involved in military conflicts. However, the family has good reason to be well armed. Saudi Arabia is surrounded by countries that are hostile towards them, such as Iran. In addition, the family has been targeted by terrorist groups such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. To protect themselves against these threats, the Saudi royal family maintains a large military force of over 250,000 active soldiers, and they purchase an array of weaponry from various countries, including the United States, Britain, and France. Some of the weapons they buy include fighter jets, tanks, missiles, and small arms. No. 1. Charity. Even though the Saudi royal family is one of the wealthiest in the world, they never forget those less fortunate. In fact, they're one of the largest donors to charity organizations globally, giving away an estimated $10 billion per year. The family's charitable work focuses primarily on helping Muslims in need. For example, they fund mosques, schools, and hospitals throughout the Middle East. In addition, they provide financial aid to countries affected by natural disasters. The Saudi royal family's generosity is well known throughout the Muslim world, and they're re-seen as role models for other wealthy Muslims. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.